All right,
What's up, guys?
time for an unboxing. We don't normally do unboxings. We'll review it as well while we do the unboxing, but this is Macallan 8-year-old.
But not your average 8-year-old.
This is the Rinaldi bottling, Italian import bottling from the early 1980s. So here's the bottle. I'll put the box away.
Look at that. Beautiful screw cap. Easy screw cap.
Right there. So this is just a regular 8-year-old release, bottled at 43%. Rinaldi import, bottled early 1980s. So this was distilled in the 70s. The reason for this purchase, gotta love the screw cap, you guys. And this beautiful Italian import tax stamp.
No worries about cork breaking or cracking or
No, look at that.
cork dropping or nothing.
Yeah.
Draining the whole bottle out, you're good.
Uh-oh.
It's like that little slow pour thing. Like a tequila bottle.
No, I get it, but
Watch.
that slow?
Once it gets going. There you
Oh,
go.
shizer.
You almost gotta it's like a ketchup bottle.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of crank it. Exactly.
We don't have many bottles like this. We have a couple, but they're kind of already opening.
It's same as, if you remember, we did the Macallan 1965.
Yeah.
1987, 17-year-old Rinaldi, same thing.
All right.
Same screw cap.
So here's the reason why we got this bottle. One of our biggest whiskey inspirations and our whiskey role models, whatever you want to call it,
Legend.
Emmanuel Drawn, the owner of the Old Alliance in Singapore, which is widely known amongst connoisseurs as the best whiskey bar in the world, if not the best, one of the very few best, where he pretty much has the most exquisite collection you could think of. Every Samaroli bottling, every old, anything kind of bottling you could think of, and it's just not whiskey, some fantastic rums and other things as well. We've never been, but it's a dream of ours to go. He's been a kind of an inspiration and someone we've looked up to from a very early on in our journey. I remember we even got sample sent, years and years ago. Got to try some Samaroli bottlings where we got some samples off of him. He also has a very pretty famous book out. It's like almost a 900-page, 15-pound encyclopedia of collection of whiskeys where he shows you, kind of highlights a lot of the legendary whiskeys, talks about how to disguise fakes and whatnot. So he's definitely a guy where if he says, hey, this whiskey is incredible, we don't really need to do much other research. We can comfortably get it. And he said that his favorite Macallan was this 8-year-old. Bottled in, I believe he said his was bottled in like 82 and 83. So we don't know if this is exactly 82 or 83. We just know it's early 80s. Right. And when you go to the Old Alliance, one thing he likes to do is he'll give you blindly a dram of this and blindly a dram of Macallan 30-year-old, like the more current release. We're not talking about the old school 30-year-olds, but a more current release. And he, according to him, the majority of people easily pick this one. So it's his favorite, so he loves to kind of do that experiment. Here's an older 8-year-old versus a more current 30-year-old, and this one tends to win. So again, we'd never tried it. We tend to go more for the old school 10-year-old when we're seeking the lower age Macallans, but we've never really tried the 8-year-old. So here it is, the 8-year-old unboxing. Our first impressions, we kind of don't know what to expect. This obviously has not even been breathing, just fresh pour. So you may experience a little bit of silence from us. That's clean.
The best men's cologne ever.
Yeah. So we'll see how much of a review this is. We'd obviously normally like to have at least a couple drams of something. And normally like to let it breathe. This has been in
That was danky.
bottle. This has been bottle aging now for 38 years or so.
How old are we? Exactly.
Well, we were born in 82, so that's why I just went with 38.
Exactly.
Yeah.
38 years.
So it's been sitting in there for a long, long time. And how about these screw caps? I mean, I know it's not as sexy as a cork, but it just keeps everything intact. You don't have to worry about losing the cork. I mean, I really like it. I'm all for the screw caps.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems, although it's a good problem, is trying to get open the thing with the cork and worrying about it if it's like a 50-year-old cork.
Yeah, I mean, this is old school Macallan, done the right way. You're just getting the beautiful chocolate, the figs, the dates, everything you'd want to expect, but just in that clean, more of an old school cherry kind of way. With the old school cherries, you get a little bit more of that cola. You get a little berry sweetness. It's just really, really nice.
And that funk, that musty, danky.
Yeah, very musty.
Funk.
You get the wood play going. And that's the thing, like a lot of new school sherry will have, you get sometimes kind of the pencil shavings, a lot of ginger, where this you're not getting the pencil shavings, you're not getting that ginger, you're getting more of that musty, danky, cola kind of sherry.
Yeah.
And obviously as this breeds and breeds more, I'm getting even more of that dankiness, a lot more of that cola.
And it's so perfumey. Like I said, it's like a men's cologne. It just emanates and it lasts. It's so rich. So creamy on the nose.
Very nice. Palate?
Palate. Getting like peaches and apricots.
We'll probably bring this out later on for like another review, but we'll see. Wanted to try it now here for the first time.
Palate.
So yummy. Drinks so clean.
So drinkable, man.
Drinks
so fresh.
It drinks so much older than 8 years old.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's just so weird how
there's probably older stuff in there.
Yeah, and you know what it is. Even if there's not older stuff in here, it's the casks. It's the casks they were using back then. Just a few years, and those casks did magical things.
Magic.
And the fact that this has been watered down to 43%. I mean, it doesn't taste cask strength, but it's got some full flavor to it, right?
It's got some viscosity.
It's got some beautiful flavor to it.
Well, like just like at face value, compare this 43% to today's Macallan's 43%.
Yeah,
you can literally taste the water in there for today's Macallan's.
But like when you taste today's,
this is rich.
Today's Macallan 18 even, like, right? And I haven't had the recent 30-year-old. We've had 30-year-olds from a few years back.
Right.
And I was just not impressed with those either at all. There's just this lack of depth. There's the lack of uniqueness. It's a simple dram. It doesn't have that richness. You don't get that quality wood from the oak, from all the aging. It just kind of has that ginger spice, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of orange peel, and there's no wow factor. The wow factor here, I think, is that musky, old school sherry dankiness. And it's best way I could describe that. If you're trying it, it'll translate. When you haven't tried it, it's a little more difficult for it to translate, just saying that. Rather than just naming off fruits and stuff like that and actual tasting notes, it's really what it is.
Yeah, once you experience that, it sticks with you and it's unmistakable.
Yeah.
You know exactly what we're talking about. And it's one of the most addictive notes in whiskey you can get.
So now with a little bit more air, and it's just kind of breathing that vinaigrette. That vinaigrette from balsamico starts coming out. And that's that richness coming. And it's almost like a cola vinaigrette.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
You stole it. That is so addictive, man.
Awesome sherry.
Yeah, like a lightly chocolate cola, like almost like a cocoa, like light cocoa dusted
just trips me. I
Cola vinaigrette.
don't get any ginger, and it's current Macallan is so much of that ginger candy, ginger spice.
This is so addictive, man.
This is going into like now starting to get like, I mean, it's creamy too. It's only 8 years old, but it's got that like burnt brown butter, right? Like it's butter and brown sugar kind of cooked down, and it's starting to almost burn a little bit.
Yeah.
Combine that with the cola vinaigrette. Combine that with the red berry fruits, and combine that with the rum raisins and dates.
Yeah, like so many dark, rich baked goods with the brown butter and spice on it.
Swedish molasses soft cookies. Like, I don't know if you've had it or not, but you know, growing up in Sweden, used to make.
I can imagine though.
Yeah, just like sweet, like they're almost like they call them like ginger, like it's almost like gingerbread,
right?
But you don't really taste any ginger. It's almost more like molassesy and like brown sugary.
Right. I can imagine that, and there is like the natural wood spice that kind of gives you that kind of gingerbread spice factor to it.
It's that holiday cake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Holiday times, you know, the yummy.
This is an amazing fall holiday dram right here.
It's almost like a cinnamon roll in here.
Yeah.
Really good. One more taste.
Wow, this is perfect.
Get age on the palate. I would never guess this as an 8-year-old. Although if you want to compare it to that 79 Grand Reserva we tried recently, that to me is another dimension.
That's a whole other world.
Yeah.
That's one of the best whiskeys ever.
Yeah, there's a whole other dimension. That was bottled at 40%.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's almost like 40% cask strength if it were like 50 years old.
Yeah. This to me
is so much richer.
This to me is like what
Oh my God, that's luscious.
In the perfect world of whiskey, since look, it's an 8-year-old Macallan. This could not have been very expensive when it came out, right?
Hell no.
It was not meant to be very expensive. It was probably, you know, nothing fancy back then. Now it is because the flavor is so unique. But this to me is like, oh, I want to reach for my daily, like, amazing sipper for sherry drams. This is what it should be.
This is what it should be.
But now it's become a special occasion pour.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So because of the rarity of it and because this flavor does not exist anymore and they're not recreating this flavor, therefore it becomes a special occasion pour. If I go grab Macallan 12 now, let's say, that does not taste like a special occasion pour.
No.
Yeah, so... I mean, that becomes the daily sipper now, and the quality is so different.
Right.
Yeah. Where this is what in the perfect world should be.
Right.
And what used to be the daily
the
sipper.
80s.
But they didn't appreciate it then, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting like the cola, so much cola, but like root beer and sassafras and like sarsaparilla, all those like dirty like cola root beer root flavors. So nuts. No, it is. It's literally your dream daily sipper.
Yeah. It is really, really enjoyable. This is great. We recently got this from a shop in Italy. It's a little over $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So it's expensive. It wasn't cheap, but it's an old school whiskey. It's the collectability of it. And when Emmanuel says it's really good, we're gonna want to try it.
Yep.
So
we listen.
It's hard for me to score this right now. But if I had to score it, it would be a 92 out of 100. It's incredible. But later on, I'm sure my score might change for however direction it goes. But for right now, as a first impression, without a breathing at all, just opening it and drinking it within the first 15 minutes, this is going to need to breathe a little bit. We're going to have to spend more time with it. to truly get to know it. But just the first impression would be a 92 for me.
Right. And I'll give it the same thing. I'll give it 92, and same thing. It's a neck pour. It needs some air, needs some time. Become familiar with it, but right now it is really, really, really amazing.
Yeah,
92.
truly enjoyable. Absolutely. One day, for us, one of our very few whiskey dreams is to go to the Old Alliance in Singapore, chill over there, have some drams, and I know it'll be a place where we can go, where we can try some things where we haven't, and we've been so lucky to try so much. But yeah.
But he's got Emmanuel has everything. So everything we don't have.
Emmanuel, if you're watching, save us some epic drams. We're coming.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Bye.